Hey there, Justin at U-Joint Off-Road Colorado here again. This is our buddy Perry's 02 E350 V10 Winnebago Minnie Whinnie. This thing is very cool. This has become a quick shop favorite. So Perry got this thing on a deal. It is just in perfect condition. All the stickers, the old school stickers and everything are all still in great shape. I don't ever show the insides, but we'll have a peek at this one. It's still got all the factory Winnebago, everything. 50,000 miles. Just a treat. So Perry came to me asking if it was crazy to do something this old, and I said, no, I don't think so, especially a little one like this. I think this is a great value for people. You can get these things for like 10, 15 grand sometimes with under 100,000 miles on them. And with a little bit of TLC, usually it's not a bad rig to get out and hit the trail with. So he came to us for the standard 6-inch four-wheel drive conversion. Got the frame all spruced up. It was in really good condition, so we basically just needed to clean it up and then repaint it everywhere where we did our work. Perry went for the upgraded AccuTune custom valved Fox 2.0 factory series shocks. These are really nice. Of course, custom spec Alcan springs make this all possible. Got the new housing Dana 60 with 488 gears on this one. Detroit True Track in the front. And then, of course, all the good chromoly half shafts, Dynatrack outers, straight tie rod, 14.5-inch brakes. You know the spiel. So he wanted to do something a little different with his front bumper than what most everybody else does. So we got him set up with a 003 plate front bumper. We made him up some little block off plates for the fog light pockets. And then we got him set up with a couple big LP9s on top. And then he brought us this little bit older worn winch to install in there. And of course it's got a front receiver. This one does have our OBA as well, and the Anderson port is hooked up. Worn shackles back behind the grill. See the upgraded 6.0 oil cooler, bigger cooler lines, and then we've got our bus bar running all the electrical in the front. We took the dorky factory steps off and put on some Bushwhacker fender flares in the front. Then we got our cab chassis side steps. Wheels and tires are standard. We've got the American Racing Baja in the front, and then our custom machined, actually custom built now, rear 17-inch E-Series U-joint specific rear wheels. I'll touch on that real quick. Since this is an older 350, it's got a narrower Dana 70U in the back. So these ones to run the 17s in the back do require a wheel spacer. So we get a steel wheel spacer back there for those to get them spaced off of the spring. The inner dually hits the spring on the inside. We'll talk about the rear axle too, because it was 410s in the back. So we just skipped 456 and went right to 488. And then while we had it apart, we did a Auburn E-locker in the back as well. And you can see there, it didn't have a factory rear sway bar, so we added a Hellwig 450 rear bar with our direct mount sway bar links in the front. And then of course, matching Alcan springs in the back, and then the matching AccuTune factory series shocks in the back as well. And then this one does have our rear bags that are plumbed up into the cab. Two paddle valves on the dash up here. So you can control it on the fly, flip your compressor on. Got control over your bags. This stuff was here, added the 4x4 light, and then of course we got the S-Pod in the door, running the front lights. We got backup light override, air compressor, rear locker engagement, flip those on. And then we got them set up with a nice trans temp gauge too that matches up with the stock green gauges everywhere. And we've got our transfer case shifter down there. This one has a 4R100 in it, so it came out and it got a full rebuild and upgrade. Got billet torque converter, upgraded valve body, all the good stuff. Also converted to 4-wheel drive. And we've got our NV271 T-case with 1350 CV drive shafts, front and back. So this one's kind of an oddball. It's a short wheelbase, a 138 wheelbase, so it's got a one-piece rear shaft. And then of course a front Hellwig also. Yeah, it's kind of a funny rig with that 138 wheelbase. That's the same wheelbase as a regular bodied van. So it's got that overhang in the back, but it gives it a real unique look. We got him set up with a custom built rear bumper. He had us lop the bottom half of that ladder off there so we could have a storage box and a spare tire on the back. And then if you need up to the ladder, you kind of just go up the step onto the box. So we got him set up with a nice little buyer's box. So he's got some storage, lockable storage on the back, and made him a tray for the top. So you can put some firewood or jerry cans or something up there. And then we've got some diffused Bajas S2s down here on a switch from the S-Pod in the door. And then the frame extensions on some of these things are real hokey, so we went through and gusseted the frame all up and everything underneath here because he's going to hang a moto off the back of this thing. So we wanted to make sure it was strong. And then this thing had a step to get up to this side door right here, and the exhaust and everything, because it's got such a long overhang. It's all mangled just off of the thing. So we hacked it all out of there, and Perry gave us a little creative freedom to reroute the exhaust out of the back. So we made a little side exit with a Dirt King mount with some nice stainless 3-inch pipe. Made him up a nice little axle back exhaust. So I thought that was pretty cool. And then of course, every time we take a set of springs off now, we put Alcan HD shackles at the back on. So, great example of how to build yourself a really cool little rig for not very much money invested. If you've got any questions, you can email me, justin@ujoinoffroad.com. You can leave a comment below. If you've got any questions for Chris at the North Carolina shop, or you're inquiring about a do-it-yourself kit, you reach out to Chris@ujoinoffroad.com. Thank you.